Hello friends, welcome to a new video. In this video I'm going to discuss about some important methods of set. Okay, so let's get started. So at first let's see how we can create a set. Okay, so to create a set you have to import the HashSet class from util package, right? So let's do it. So import java util dot HashSet. Okay, or you can just write a start. Okay, everything will fine. So start means you are importing all the classes of util package. Okay, if you just specify the HashSet here, it means you are only importing the HashSet class. Okay, that's all. So now suppose I want to create a HashSet of integer type, right? So how we can create a HashSet of integer type? HashSet, then you have to specify the data type of the HashSet, right? Here, like I want to create a HashSet of integer type, then here I will write the data type. Okay, then the HashSet reference, new HashSet, right? Yeah, that's all you only need to do to create a HashSet. Okay, so now how we can add values in the HashSet, right? So HashSet. Okay, here as you can see the sequence is same, but it's not like mandatory you always get the result in the same sequence. Okay, so now the first point was I told you that HashSet cannot store any like duplicate values, right? So if I now again just I want to add the 5, then you can see this 5 will not add in our HashSet. Okay, so now if I again try to print it, then you can see the last 5 is not stored in our HashSet. So yeah, the point is HashSet cannot store any duplicate value. It will always store the unique values. Okay, so now the next method is addAll method. If you want to store any like another collection into a particular HashSet, then you can use addAll method. Okay, like here I want to add another HashSet into this HashSet. Okay, then you can use addAll method, right? So like HashSet integer type, then hs1 equals to new HashSet. Okay, so now here I am also hs1. If you add like 7 and then hs1 dot add 8 and then hs dot add all hs1. Okay, then you can see like this out hs, then you can see these 7 and 8 will also add in our HashSet. Suppose you are not adding like any unique value. Okay, you are adding like 1 and 2. Okay, means a duplicate values you are also try to add into this HashSet. Okay, then you can see this 1 and 2 is not added in our HashSet. Okay, it means the HashSet cannot store any duplicate values. Okay, so yeah, that's all about add and addAll method. Method will give us boolean values. Suppose like if you just try to print this out and you just try to print this hs.add. Okay, so now if you just print it, then you can see it will give you true because add method will give us boolean values. Okay, so and then again if you print this thing, then you can see this add method will give us false value, because for the second time when you will try to again add the same value, then this add method will give us false, because time the add method will give us false. Why so? Because for the second time HashSet will not store the same value again. Okay, that's why this method will give us false. It means the add method will give us true only if the particular element will add in our HashSet successfully, then only the add method will give us true. Will give us false if any particular element cannot store in our HashSet, like because of like duplication, means we are trying to store the duplicate element in our HashSet, then this add method will give us false, means that particular element cannot store in our HashSet. That's why this add method will give us false. Okay, so I think this is clear. Add measure will give us true only if any particular element added in our HashSet successfully. Otherwise, it will give us false. Okay, so addAll method also gives us boolean value. If any particular collection is added successfully in our hash set, then only it will give us true, otherwise it will give us false. Okay, so now like do this. So now if I just print it, then you can see for the first time it will give us true, right? Because this is for the first time, it's a unique value, right? Because we don't have this 5 before, right? But for the second time we are trying to store the 5 again, then this hash set will not store that particular element. That's why the add method will give us false. Okay, I think it's clear up to this. So now let's go to our next method. Like, okay, like do the same thing for addAll method. If we now just try to print this, like sys out, then you can see it will give us false. Okay, right? So now if you just try to add any unique elements like 7 and 8, then it will give us true. Okay, I think it's clear up to this. So now our next method is size method, right? So size method will give us the hash set size, means the total number of the elements are present in the hash set. This size measure will give us. Okay, so it is so size. Okay, and obviously this size measure is always will give us an integer type value. Okay, so now if I just print it, then you can see the size is 7 because we have this element and total number of the elements is only 7. Okay, 7, right? So now our next method is contains method. So contains method will give us always boolean value, true or false. If the particular element is present in our hash set, then that contains method will give us true, otherwise contains method will give us false. Okay, so sys out hs dot contains like 1. Okay, so contains 1. So if you just print, then you can see it will give us 2 because hash set is contains this 1, right? So now if I check this with 10, obviously 10 is not present in our hash set, right? So I just run it, then you can see it will give us false because obviously this 10 is not present in our hash set, right? That's why it will give us what? False. Okay, because contains method will give us false. So because that particular element is not present in our hash set, right? So our next method is remove method. So remove method is used to remove anything from our hash set. Okay, so like this out hs dot remove. Okay, like suppose I want to remove 4. Okay, so now if I just run it, then you can see it will give us true because okay, just a second, if I just print this hash set, then you can see this particular 4 is removed in our hash set, right? And then also this has give us true value because we have successfully removed that particular element. Okay, I think it's clear. So now like again, if I just try to remove this 4 again, then you can see then it will give us false because this 4 is not present in our hash set. If that particular element is not present in our hash set, then how we can remove that element from the hash set, right? So that's why it will give us false, right? I think it's clear. So like in the same way, you can remove any whole correction also from any hash set. Okay, like in that case you have to use removeAll method, right? Like here you want to remove this hs1. Okay, like this hs1 you want to remove, then in that case you can use removeAll method. Okay, so then you have to specify the collection, right? So now if I just run it, then you can see it will give us true. So it will give us true. Why so? Because this hs1 is already present in our hash set, like C7 and 8 is present in this hs1 hash set, right? And we have already add that hs1 in our hash set also, means in our hs hash set also. So if we want to remove this hs1 from hs, okay, this hs1 I want to remove from hs. Okay, if I want to remove, then we can successfully remove this hs1 because this hs1 we have added in our hs hash set, right? So we can obviously remove that hs1 hash set also, right? So yeah, That's all. So now if you just print it, then you can see this like 7 8, right? These two elements are present in HS1. So now you can see this in our HS asset, these two element will not there in our HS asset, right? So as you can see, this 7 and 8 are removed in our HS asset. Okay, so yeah, that's all for this video. I hope this video is quite informative for you, and thanks for watching. See you in the next video.